right, guys. So, in the next episode of a deep dive into Moses Hacmon's most toxic relationship, we have another video that a viewer sent us that we hadn't seen before. So, this video is actually a podcast that Trisha did that Moses did with her. And this actually came between episode 1 of our deep dive and episode 3. So, for those who don't know, episode 1 and 2 of our deep dive are from the same video where he first appeared on her channel, or what we believed was the first time he appeared on our channel, and because everything had been deleted. Now, episode 3 was the second time we thought he appeared on the channel, but turns out they did this podcast on the Just Trish podcast, which comes before 3. So just count 1 and 2 as one episode and 3, which means it comes between them. So basically it comes between episode 1 and 2. Now, if you remember, the first episode was Moses in her car having a mukbang of cheese sticks. And they were talking about the relationship, but they weren't together at the time yet. Now, this podcast comes after. Now, remember the video we just did where we showed that she said that Moses and her were no longer talking, and it was because of Ethan and Ela getting involved and making Moses stop talking to them, which we said we do not believe was true. So this podcast actually came after that. So keep that in mind. That means that Trisha just did an exposed video where she called out Moses, Ethan, and Ela, and then this podcast came next after episode 1. So the chronological order of events is kind of confusing, but we're going to showcase episode 1 and 3 to show you that it went in the middle of this. So this was after episode 1 where she already had him in her car doing a mukbang. And it was after the exposed video. So let's see what they had to say. Let's see.
Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to the Dish with Trish podcast. We are in what week of quarantine? We're on week 6 of quarantine. I don't know. Anyways, I haven't had many guests on because of quarantine, but I've been quarantining with my guests today. This is very exciting. We barely knew each other at the start of quarantine, and now we are inseparable, kind of. We'll get into it. This is...
Okay, so quick note. The title of this podcast was Quarantine Boyfriend is Back with a question mark. So remember, she just said we've been inseparable, kind of. We'll get into it. So she's saying that because he cut her off and she made an exposed video about him, which she blamed at the time on his sister Ela and his brother-in-law Ethan Klein. But we believe that he actually cut her off because she hit him at the time. Let's find out.
How is this? Do you say your last name or no?
Hacmon?
Is it secret?
No.
I feel like you're secretive online. Like you're clear being on Instagram, your channel water on YouTube.
Yeah, but no, people can find my name. There's nothing to hide.
Okay, so you're not trying to be private about it.
No.
Okay, but if she actually thought he was being secretive online, then how come when she did the exposed video, she said, I'll tell you his name, it's Moses, because he's a public figure, and I'm going to tell you about his private life because I feel like he doesn't care that much. But then here she's like, oh, he's kind of secretive. So is he secretive or is he okay with this whole life being exposed?
People call me out for trying to expose you. They're like, he's private. I'm like, you're the opposite of private. You're so out there.
Okay, she just said it again too. She's the one who just said he's so secretive, but now a second later she's like, he's so out there. But is he out there if he's not even putting his full name out there? Like, obviously he did at some point, but what I'm saying is he kept his private life private. He wasn't Moses Hacmon on every platform that he was on. So he was a bit private and he was a bit secretive. So for her to be like, no, you publicly blasted yourself everywhere is not true. I feel like that's her way to justify publicly blasting him everywhere by acting like he already was everywhere.
The sides of me that are, the sides that are not.
What's the side that's not? I want to know that side.
I mean, he probably is referring to his private relationships, right?
Like my personal life. I thought I'm like a
Bingo. He said, I am private and I'm not. My personal life is private, but she made it public, so it's not private anymore.
teacher, right? Like if you have a teacher in college, so they teach you a subject. So that's my channel. That's what I do. Like I teach something.
Right.
But it's not about your professor or your teacher. Like, you know what I mean?
That's the only reason I ever went to school was for my professors and teachers. That's what I care about is their personal lives. Like, who are they married to? Do they have kids?
Right.
Like, you never want to talk about that. Like, if you get married and have kids one day, you'll never show them, you think?
Okay. So she talks about how she only went to her school for her teachers and her professors, which is very odd considering that she claimed that every single teacher in her life since she was 6 years old did something to her. It's very strange that she would then pursue more teachers if she was actually the victim of multiple teachers. Keep in mind, she claims that she's the victim of at least 10 teachers, at least 10. From multiple high schools, by the way, and multiple middle schools. And yet she's saying that she went to school because she had a thing for teachers. Also, she asks him here, so if you have a wife and kids, are you going to keep that private? She's kind of fishing for information here because she wants to know if he'll be a viable husband for her because she plans to put her children and husband on social media. So she wants to know if he's okay with that so she can know if he's husband material, basically. She wants to put her kids on social media at this point, and she ends up doing that, which is a point of controversy because she spoke before about how messed up it is for people to place their children online because they don't have consent to do it. But then she placed all of her children online the very second they were born and even made ASMR videos with her children. Like her firstborn, she did an ASMR video the literal second that the child came out of her.
ASMR channel. I'm in the hospital about to give birth to my first baby.
In this video, she then goes on to sing to her newborn for her ASMR community, using her infant newborn who just came out of the womb to cater to those who wanted to get ASMR. There's one thing, there's a difference between showing your child off because you're proud of them the first day they're born. Like people post their infants and they're like, oh, she's here or he's here. There's a difference between that and posting your child on an ASMR channel to give your viewers ASMR with your baby.
No, they're not part of the channel.
Really? Even on
It's not.
Instagram?
Yeah, like look at my Instagram. You won't see anything about my personal life.
People gave me that. They're like, wow, she's posting them all over Instagram. He doesn't post her once.
Okay, two things here. Moses said that he wouldn't post his kids on social media, which is a lie because he ended up doing that and exploiting them just as much as she did. And number two is that she takes this opportunity to call him out by being like, well, people are like making fun of me for posting you, but saying you never post me. So she's using that as like, you should be posting me because people are saying things about me now that you're not posting me. They're trying to imply that you're not as into me as I am into you. So she wants him to post her.
No, because have you seen anyone else on my Instagram?
Yeah, but I'm special.
Sure.
Aw, okay.
All I'm saying is that you can see that my work online is my
If you have to say that you're special and all you get is a shore, you're probably not that special to this guy.
artwork and my research, but it's not me.
Yeah.
It's not what I eat, what I do, where I go, who I meet. It's not that.
But don't you think that'd be interesting too? Because you do know so many like interesting people.
I don't care. I mean, it's not like it might
You don't
be-
like to share it? Like, I think it's fun to share it. Like, your life is exciting.
Sure.
He's like, I don't care that I meet interesting people. I don't want to share that. Yet he gets into a relationship with someone that he knows brings a whole lot of clout and attention. I just don't buy into his whole like, I don't really care that people are celebrities. I think we're all the same. And yet he sought after someone who was extremely popular on YouTube and used her for clout promotion and attention. Also, it's so interesting to me that I know this came after the video where they did a mukbang on her channel, but it's so interesting to me that he's talking to her so normally, like she didn't just make an exposed video on him.
Your personal life, but you just don't have no interest in sharing what you're doing.
I think I'm going to open up my garden to people. People want to see pictures.
That's what you're going to start with? Is your garden?
People want to see pictures of my plants,
They
the
were very-
kittens. I'm going to keep it like
I don't
National
think-
Geographic.
So you're trying to be like earthy.
I think the reason Moses doesn't want to share his personal life is because it's so messy. Like, remember, he had multiple wives in the past. He was dealing with multiple women at the time that he was talking to Trisha. So he was betraying her and kind of cheating on her behind her back if they had what she said they had, which was him saying, I'm not talking to anyone, I'm only interested in you. But then he was talking to people behind her back. I think that's the reason he doesn't want to make his private life public, because he knows that if he did, all the dirty, dark secrets would come out.
Vibes.
No, I mean, I'm not, I'm watery.
Water is earth, right? You're a water sign. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I looked up our signs. Okay, we're not dating, by the way, but I looked up our signs just to see like compatibility in general. I'm a
They're not dating at this point. Okay.
Taurus, he's a Scorpio, and you're water, and I'm earth, and I didn't know this. I didn't know about the signs, and I was like, oh my God, he's water. I wonder if he knows that. Is that where you became like obsessed with water? Is from your sign? You're like, okay, I have to like get into this now.
No,
Okay, zodiac jump scare here, or astrology jump scare, is a comment said a long time ago. But fun fact, Taurus and Scorpio are actually known as the soulmate signs. Like, they're generally pretty compatible. But I do not believe that these two are soulmates at all. I believe he conned her, and she was lonely and desperate and let herself believe that he liked her because she didn't want to be alone.
was by accident. I mean, not accident. Like I was looking for something, like something in nature that's alive. That, I mean, in the bigger picture, I was looking for God. I was looking for, the source of life.
Right.
And then I found water. Like it's not that.
Wait, that's kind of funny. He was looking for God and then he found water. But like God created water, right? So he still found God.
I'm not the kind of guy that's like swimming, surfing, love water. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or people are like, oh, you must be like diving and surfing. I'm like, no, the water here is so freezing cold.
You don't like to be in it? You don't like to be, I feel like you'd like to be
I
submerged.
like to be in the water, but for me, it's like water is like movement. Like dancing is being water.
Okay.
Being an architect is being water. Driving fast is being water.
You existing is
You know
being
what I mean?
water.
So it's like movement. It's bigger than just being wet.
About that.
I mean, I kind of get what he's saying here. It's kind of convoluted, but I get it. He's saying he doesn't have to surf or swim or do water sports or water activities to appreciate water. He just respects water for its sole existence. I don't know why, and this is just speculation, but I kind of feel like Moses took something like niche, like water that no one really considers, and tried to make it his thing because it was really nobody else's thing. Because he wanted to be like the face of water, because he's like narcissistic and wanted basically to like not discover, because everyone knows what water is, but like you know what I mean, like push it, be the face of it.
Wait, do you think you sound crazy when you say this to people? Because you swear that you are water.
Yeah.
You swear it.
No, I've changed my identity to water.
And you think the craziest thing about you is you don't think you're going to die.
I'm not.
No, wait, you are.
I don't even think that's the craziest thing about Moses. I think the craziest thing about Moses is the fact that he was conning her and lied to her and had multiple wives that she didn't know about. I think that's the craziest.
You're a human.
Water never dies. Like you can't kill water.
Okay, but you
Water is
are
always-
blood and heart and lungs, and those all do die.
But that's like architecture. It's like
Talk about someone tried to say that I sounded like the most miserable person at the party. Talk about that. Like Trisha just said, like, but you are gonna die. Talk about the most miserable person at the party. Like, what a drag. What a buzzkill. He's just trying to be water.
building, right? There's a house.
Right.
You build the house, but you're not the house. So
Right.
water is the builder that builds
Okay.
this house. So everybody's a house.
So you're saying, but when you die and you get buried, it's going to be ashes and bones. Where's the water come into play? When do you melt into water? When do we see that?
No, but the water that's in your body now leaves your body, goes back to river, ocean, clouds, to plants, animal. So like that's the cycle.
Okay.
Cycle
So-
of water is the cycle of the.
I'm sorry, but I love how she's like, wow, like she's interested. Like, she's not interested. She doesn't care. But it's funny that she's trying to act like she does. I think at this point she was trying to still impress him and act like she was into the things that he was into to get him to talk to her more and hang out with her more and just in general interact more. It's a good tactic. I'll give her that.
You, Moses, is going to die, but the water in your body will live
This
on.
body's gonna break down.
Right.
This identity that people know
Yes.
is gonna break down.
Right.
But I will not.
I feel like I feel like you sound crazy.
This made me think of the Lion King when they're like the antelope. You become the antelope, and then, or you become the grass, and then the antelope eat the grass, or something like that. She's like, I think you sound crazy.
I love you
I
so
am
much,
crazy.
but
No, but I have no doubt. Like, I have no problem. Like, I am crazy.
so you think there's something like different about you and your brain?
I'm not different, but I'm just crazy.
I think you're different because who else thinks they're water? Nobody else. I told him his soulmate is going to be someone who loves water. If like,
I feel like she's kind of doing that passive aggressively, where she's like, I told him his soulmate is going to be someone who loves water. Because she, I think, wanted to be his soulmate, and she's the one who was pursuing him at this point. So I feel like she was doing that thing that sometimes some people do, where they're like, oh, you'll find so and so, when really, like, you want to be the so and so. Because, like, she pursued him the whole time and she never left him alone. So she never wanted him to find his soulmate. She wanted to be the soulmate.
I feel like if you found a girl that was like, hey, I'm water too, you'd be like, wow, I finally met her.
Once happened.
You said girls try though. This is what I find it. We'll go back to it. I find this so interesting. You said like before all this, before we even like met, whatever, you said like girls would like DM you, like trying to act like they know about water. And
Wait, but it's funny because in the mukbang that Trisha did with him, she said that too. She's like, I love water. She does it.
Usually.
to try and impress you. And you're like, I can call out a fake.
Yeah.
Do you just stop talking? You don't. Okay. So do you just stop talking?
If Moses can call out a fake, it's because he himself is fake. It takes one to know one.
Girls once you know they're fake, or are you just like whatever?
No, I mean, it's the same thing. Like, if it's online, it doesn't become personal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if somebody wants to ask me a question about life, water, help them with depression, anxiety, whatever, I help them. But the conversation doesn't continue to like, oh, what you doing?
Oh, you're not
You know
like
what
that.
I mean?
But that doesn't make sense because the girls that he met were H3 fans that he spoke to as just H3 fans who then became personal relationships to him. Like, I'm pretty sure he went and met up with, not even pretty sure, I know for a fact, or this is what the young girl said. She said that Moses met up with her and slept with her and did something to her that was not good. So, no, these did become personal and real. They didn't just stay online and they weren't just like at a distance. I think he said this so that Trisha would think that he wasn't talking to anyone in DMs when he was. I think she finds out later. I don't think she finds out yet. I think she finds out later that he lied and that he was talking to girls in DMs. And that's when she releases all the messages for the next exposed video. So she did multiple exposed videos on him.
Can we talk about that? How you haven't dated for 10 years? Or no?
Oh, big lie. Moses told her he hadn't dated for 10 years. Keep in mind he had 2 wives by this point. Not only did he have 2 wives, but he also was talking to another girl previously, just like a month prior to meeting Trisha, who he was trying to make his love interest and who he had slept with. What happened to I Don't Lie, Moses?
Are you like not
Sure.
about it? Okay. So let's give like background first because we got like way ahead of ourselves. So okay, how we met? We met 2 days before lockdown started, right? We met 2 days before. Okay, so I was on the H3 podcast. Shout out H3. Is it H3 or just H3 podcast? I don't know their branding.
Well, there's 2, right? There's the H.
Her giving them a shout out when she literally just exposed them like 2 videos ago and said that they ruined her relationship and her life and they were mean to her and bullying her.
H3 channel productions,
Okay.
and then there's the podcast.
The H3 podcast is not H3.
Yeah.
They dropped one of the H3s. Okay. Which I genuinely liked being on that podcast. I don't know what happened, really. I guess they hate me. I don't talk to them. I don't know. I love them. No hate. I bought a Teddy Fresh thing. But I
See, she's like, oh, I guess they hate me, but I don't hate them. She's trying to like victimize herself here to make it seem like Ethan and Hila are the ones who have an issue with her when she was the one who had an issue with them, a personal issue with them. Because Ethan's issue with Trisha has always been an internet beef. He was always just like trolling. He clearly didn't have like anything personal against her. But Trisha made it personal when she went after Hila's brother and tried to sleep with him just to get Ethan and Hila back.
they were trying to do like a Bachelorette thing, whatever. I don't think they did a very good job picking my guys for me. I feel like because they didn't pick them. Ethan and Hila didn't pick them, and I trust Ethan and Hila. I don't trust the interns, and they picked them for me. I was very disappointed. So by the end of a 2.5 hour,
But why would she trust Ethan and Hila if she claims that she thinks that they hate her? That doesn't make sense.
hour-long episode, I was like, oh my God, where's your brother? Because I was pitched to be on the show first to date her brother. So then I looked him up and I was like, oh, he's super hot. That didn't happen for whatever reason. And then my show came. So by the second episode, I was like, wait, what happened to your brother? And whatever. And you DM me that night before the show even aired. So that means they told you this is not private information. That has to be it, because they told.
Well, let's find out if they actually did tell him, because now that he is sitting there with her, he'll be able to confirm or deny what happened. So let's find out if Ethan or Hila told him and why he went behind their backs to message her. Because remember, he went behind their backs to do it.
You that like, oh, Trisha's interested in you, right? Is that how it went down?
Yeah, and I was surprised. I was like, "What? She mentioned me? Like, why did that even come about?" And
oh, really?
and when I saw the show, I was like, "Oh,
oh, so okay." But we had talked before the show came
yeah."
out.
So they mentioned that you asked about me.
Yeah.
So then I reached out, but I didn't know. I didn't see the show.
So they told him that she mentioned him, and then he reached out. But he didn't tell them that he reached out. He just did it behind their back. And that was the whole issue that they had with it, because they were like, what are you trying to do? Like, we're trying to run a show with this woman, and you're kind of creeping behind the scenes, going to talk to her and basically ruining the show, which I think they were fine with as long as Moses would have told them, like, hey, I'm going to pursue her. But he didn't say that. Instead, he pursued her behind their back. And then when they called him out, he was like, oh, it's just a goof. I'm just using her. Which he told the female that he was involved with prior to Trisha also, that he was using Trisha.
Yeah, so I didn't saw how horrible
The people were.
people that, and you took it seriously. So it was kind of like,
I took it seriously. I remember so specifically asking too. I was like, yeah, I like to go somewhere between 35 to 55 or whatever. And they gave me like an 18-year-old in college. And I was like, wait, what? This is not what I asked for. Like, I gave very specific things. And then I said, oh, I like the 6.
Moses would have loved if they gave him an 18-year-old in college, because he told somebody that he was talking to, a young H3 fan, in the DMs, he told her that he was going to try to get Ethan and Hila to lower the age range for him. Because remember, he was like 40 at the time, or 42 or something. And they only chose women that were like 30 plus, because Hila wouldn't let anyone younger be an applicant because she thought 30 was young enough for her brother. And Moses told a girl that he was seeing, he was like very early 20s, that he was going to get them to change the age so that she could be involved. And so that he could have younger women applicants.
Or I like really broke, and they gave me all really broke. I was like, okay, there was not even an option. Everyone was just like, I want Trisha to pay for me. I was just like, what is this? So yeah, I took it seriously, obviously.
But she told them she wanted someone really broke. She even said it there. She's like, I want someone. I think she said rich, really broke. And then when they gave her broke, she's like, oh, why are they all broke? I thought she said she loved that. She even told Jason on like one of their first dates, she's like, I love broke men, because broke men will do whatever you say, and then you get full control over them, because that's healthy.
The interns are trying to sabotage me. That's how I think anyways. But then I met Moses, and the first night.
Well, I was supposed to be the bachelor too,
yeah, right. Okay, yeah, right.
So I guess it ended up being the two bachelorette just ran away together.
Yeah.
So I watched this video one time that this YouTuber did, that she said she thinks that Moses went after Trisha because Moses was supposed to be the original bachelor, like he just said, but then they kicked him to the side to bring in Trisha as the bachelor instead. So they basically pushed Moses' season back to bring Trisha's forward. And the YouTuber said that she thought that Moses went after Trisha because he was like trying to ruin H3's Bachelorette because he got sidelined. So he was kind of like, you can't push me to the side. I'm going to be the main event. And I kind of buy into it. I kind of believe it. So him bringing it up now, I'm like, oh, so it was on your mind. And he like, and look how he specifically reminds people like, well, I was supposed to be the original bachelor.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's what I thought. I was like, but your show never aired, and mine was done because of quarantine. And also, I was just done with it. I wasn't going to go. I mean, I would have gone on a cruise, but I didn't know any of those people. I didn't like any of those people. So I didn't think of it as like ruining the show, as they said. I just thought of it as like the show's over because it's quarantine. They never.
She did like one of the people though. Remember Social Repose auditioned, which is so weird because he ended up in her band later, the Sad Boy 2005 band. He ended up in her band later, and Trisha was like, oh, he actually likes big girls, so I would go. I would see him, and then she later ended up like defending him when those accusations. Remember when those accusations came out about social repos that he was like messaging teenagers and that he cheated on his girlfriend and stuff? And then Trisha defended him and said like, "Oh, people make mistakes. Is it a mistake to message a teenager, or is it vile? Because I know what I think it is."
Out to me ever. So I was like, oh, okay. And we weren't even public. We never even posted a picture until like 10 days later. It wasn't even like right away we posted a picture.
10 days later is right away though. And she wanted to post it sooner. She said she was begging him for days to post a picture and he wouldn't let her. So she's like, "Oh, we didn't even post it until 10 days later." Yeah, but if it were up to you, you would have posted on day one. So why even bring that point up?
I mean, the idea was to be mindful of the show and basically have the show go on.
Yeah.
And see how it develops. But
I don't think I believe Moses there. He said the goal was to be mindful of the H3 show of the Bachelorette that she was supposed to be on so that it would still go on, but I don't think he believed that, or I don't think he meant for that to happen, because why would he pursue her then? Why would he meet up with her and then sleep with her the first day that he met her if he really wanted the Bachelor show to go on? The Bachelorette show.
the quarantines, like really, the lockdown happened on us.
Yeah.
Like we were just together and suddenly like, boom, quarantine. And pretty much you're the last person I saw since the quarantine started.
We were forced to
I haven't
quarantine.
seen anyone since then.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
You haven't seen anyone? Yeah,
So-
we're isolated together. I don't see anyone either.
Okay, so this is further proof that that one video about the Ondom was about him, because she said she didn't see anyone after him either, and he claims that he didn't see anyone after her, which I don't know if I believe, because remember he was still messaging women at the time. That I guess she'll later find out. I guess she doesn't know yet, which is why she's so hyped to have him back. She hasn't found out yet. It's gonna be a show when she finds out.
So it was like suddenly we're in a reality show. That should be the
So
reality
is.
show, Quarantine.
It's like Married at First
Yeah.
Sight.
I think that's a good show. Quarantine, mask, gloves, and basically you infect one of the house members.
Oh my God. And then they all get infected?
No, you have to. The winner is the one that doesn't get infected.
Oh my God. That sounds. But eventually they would, right? They would eventually die.
Anyway, that's the show we ended up in.
Everyone thinks.
Okay, that is the weirdest TV show concept I've ever heard. I know he was trying to be funny, but I think it missed the mark. Also, joking about wanting to infect people during this widespread you know what is kind of disgusting. Joke or not. But I guess we know how much Moses likes to do things that hurt people, considering he hurt that young H3 fan against her will.
Infected you, everyone's being like, why do so many people hate me? And go to like someone like, you've gotten so much hate. And I feel like you said you could handle it at the beginning, and now you're like, I can't handle it.
No, I can handle it. It's not that I can't.
You're like
it's not that. I was just mindful of what creates hate, or why, how not to, because people were upset. And I was like, what are you upset about?
yeah.
I don't think that he ever believed. He's like so fake. I don't believe that he ever wanted to stop hate. I think he didn't care about getting hate from being with Trisha because it brought him attention. And he wanted attention regardless of whether it was filled with hate or not. And him being like, oh, why are you guys being so hateful? As if he didn't know, like, maybe I guess I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say he didn't know her background. But I'm sure people filled him in. And I know she filled him in, and he tried to excuse her and he was like, well, the things you do to people isn't your fault. It was their fault, which is not true. And enabling behavior.
Like, what is it that you're upset about? We still didn't get it. And we just realized it was just like hate.
I still don't get it. I don't get why people have to like tell you how awful I am. No one hates.
I also don't get why the both of them always refer to it as hate. Like, they're like, oh, people just hate Trisha and they're spreading hate. But did you hear what she just said? She said people tried to tell you about what I did or whatever, like how she offended people. So is it hate, or is it people trying to hold her accountable? Like, a lot of people accuse this channel of hating her. We're trying to hold her accountable. Nobody else does it. No other channel will do it. Well, there's a few, but a few have stopped, and some become flip-floppers. Like, I just find it weird that people can call her out and then flip-flop a week later and stan her. I'm looking at you, Adam McIntyre. Like, how do you go from saying, oh, she hit her husband, she is a abuser, she did all these things, she exploited her kids, to then be like, But I stand her. I want to go to her show. I want to go on her podcast. I love her. I'm going to defend her against everyone.
On you though. I don't see any hate. The only hate you get is associating with me. They're like, ew, you're with Trisha. You associate with her.
And then I don't get their side of.
Well, okay, let me explain this to Moses because he wants to act so dense. He's like, I don't understand their side. Trisha has hurt multiple communities. She's hurt multiple people. And Trisha's like, oh, just because you're near me, they hate you too. It's because if you associate with someone like that, you are the company that you keep. So if you associate with an acist or abuser, you most likely are those things too. And at the very least, you overlook those things, which is not good. Like someone who vouches for someone who spreads harm is doing harm themselves. It's like that one quote where it's like, the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to stand by and do nothing. You are the company you keep. If you vouch for someone who spreads hate, you're spreading hate. Especially if you're like, I don't know why you're upset with her. Gee, I wonder why.
Like, okay, let's say you don't like somebody that you don't know actually, and you think, and they keep telling me,
I'm sorry, I keep pausing, but I hate this stance from him where he's like, you don't know her. How can you hate her? That doesn't make sense. So she's allowed to spread hate and be abusive and be all these harmful things, but because we don't personally know her, we're not allowed to hold her accountable for it. And to act like it's just hate and not just people holding her accountable is a way to deflect and to avoid being held accountable, because you could just be like, oh, they just hate me. They just hate me for no reason. They don't even know me and they hate me. When it's really like, no, nobody hates you personally. They hate the things that you do. They hate the hateful messages that you spread. They hate that you've been acist. They hate that you've been abusive. They hate that you've been exploitative. They hate that you harm people both physically, verbally, and mentally. And most of all, they hate that you get away with it.
she needs help. And I was like, okay, so are we gonna help somebody by staying away from them and never talk to them again and never like how is that help?
Okay, but are we also going to help people by just standing beside them and enabling them and saying that everything they do is fine and that everyone just hates them for no reason and people shouldn't call her out because they don't know her? Is that also helpful? I'm a little bit confused about that.
Cool. Like what is it that you're trying to do? You're just trying to isolate somebody that you say need help. It's weird. Like people don't. I don't get
right.
That.
I kind of.
It's weirder to excuse abuse. That's what's weirder to me. No one's trying to isolate anyone. They're trying to intervene to get someone help. That's what interventions are like. You have to have consequences for your actions.
I know what you're saying. I mean, it's kind of a weird way you put it because I'm like, wait, are you trying to help me? Is that why you're staying around?
No, but I'm saying like in their point of view.
He's definitely not trying to help you, Trisha. He just wants your money, and if he helps you, he's going to get less of it because you won't be as popular. You won't go viral.
Or from their point of view, it's like they say, okay, you're a hateful person, but the amount of hate they're spewing out, I'm like, no, you're more hateful than I ever seen you be. You know what I mean?
Wait, he's saying that people who hold Trisha accountable are more hateful than Trisha herself. So he must have not seen enough of Trisha then, because he must have not seen all her acism and her abusiveness. And I mean, I'm kind of surprised he didn't see the mark on his own arm. He himself left because she was too violent, and yet he's never seen her be as bad as those who call her out.
Like they're actually hating, and they're not realizing it. Like, and that just in life, that's how it is. You become what you hate.
You say that. That's what you stand by. That's another one.
You become what you hate. I don't think these people who are trying to hold her accountable are becoming abusive and acist or mocking communities. I don't think they're doing that.
One of your values you stand by is that you become what you hate. You think I hate all men.
For sure.
I want to know more about this. You say this and I kind of brush over it. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Why do you think?
I don't think that's true. I think she hates all women. I don't think she hates all men. She actually loves all men.
That.
Because, you either love everyone or you hate everyone.
That's not true.
There's no middle ground.
That's not true.
There's no middle ground.
I love my mom. I love my sister. I love you. I hate people that I won't say, but I hate people. So there's both. You think I hate everyone. So
I like how she only says, I love my mom, I love my sister. What about your dad and your brother? Also, she says she won't name the people she hates, but that doesn't last long. Her whole entire YouTube career, it's her naming people she hates.
I hate some people, so you think I hate my mom, my sister?
But I mean, I think it's a strong word. When we say hate, it's a strong word. But it's more if we judge somebody, if we're angry at them, if we get frustrated by them, those are all forms of hate in a sense.
Right.
I feel like Moses is preaching this wrong. What he should be saying is, if you hate other people, you hate yourself, which would be true and an accurate representation. But to say, if you hate one person, you hate everyone, isn't, that doesn't pass the vibe check. It's if you hate someone, you hate yourself, which is true. She hates people because she hates herself. That's just like a common thing or like a known thing.
If you really see everyone as yourself, everyone, then you love everyone. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to have them in.
Wait, now he's getting kind of on the right track, but he's still not going to say what he needs to. Because he's saying if you see everyone as yourself and you hate people, you hate everyone. No, it should be if you see people as yourself and you hate other people, then you hate yourself.
In your life. It doesn't mean that you have to be friends with them and all nice and be like, oh, great, just continue being the awful person you are.
But you still love them.
You can tell them honestly the problems they have. You can tell them the issues.
But he doesn't even do that. Because he's like, oh, you don't just stick by someone and just say, I love everything you do and not tell them the issue. He's like, you can still stand by them, but tell them the issue. But he doesn't even do that. He just stands by and says, oh, you're perfect. Nothing's wrong with you. Everyone hates you for no reason. And just enables. It's not like he's sitting there being like, oh, Trisha, here are your issues that people are concerned about. Because he doesn't care. He just wants the money back. Never in my life have I heard someone trying to sound so wise and failing so hard at it.
But you don't turn hateful, right? So let's say I'm walking in the street and let's say I'm love.
Right.
And I meet somebody and that person is hate.
Yeah.
Right? So if I meet somebody that's pure evil, like they're just bad people, right? So most people will feel like, oh, now I have the right to hate this person because he's evil. This person is just evil. But the reality is that
it's not hate if you want to hold someone accountable. Intermixing and like just mixing this up as like making it synonymous, like, oh, if you call someone out, you're hating them. So what? No one ever is allowed to call her out for anything because if they do, that's just hate. They're just haters. Nobody ever has a valid reason to call her out.
if you change,
The reason why she was able to hurt Moses, by the way, is because nobody successfully called her out for Jason Nash, for hurting Jason Nash, and that's why she went on to hurt Moses. Does he not understand that if someone keeps getting away with something, they're going to keep doing it? So if someone's harmful and they get away with it, they're going to keep doing it. Why does he think things like jail and punishment exists? It's to stop things from continuing to happen.
that means that hateful person just infected you with hate and turned you into a hateful person. You need to stay love. You need to stay loving. Even that hateful person, you need to still show them love because inside of them, there's still the person, the real person that is not hate. You know what I mean? It's like it's a spirit that comes into us. It's like,
How come he didn't hold on to this little mantra and this little stance of life when him and Ethan were feuding? And if he really believed this, why was he talking so much crap about Ethan behind Ethan's back? His own brother-in-law.
hate is not us. We were born perfect. But some point at life, somebody
Moses thinks he was born perfect and stayed perfect.
inserted it into the person.
Weren't we not born perfect? Weren't we born with sin? Isn't that the whole point of being baptized?
But that sin is the sin of the environment that puts into you. That's why you need to be born again.
Were you?
Yeah.
Were you born again when you found water? Did you baptize yourself again?
Well, they actually say be like reborn of spirit and water
Who says that?
in the Bible.
Oh, yeah. That's my other favorite thing about Moses. Even
I kind of like how Trisha kind of clocked him and he like tried to sound smart and he's like, we're all born perfect. And she's like, I thought we were all born with sin. Because he like likes to teach her about the Bible and like preach things at her. And she's like, wait a minute.
he has a biblical name. He's also very smart with Bible knowledge. It's you would be like the stereotypical, like people always think I would stereotype, but you kind of are though. You're like Moses, you're from Israel, you know a lot about the Old Testament. So you're kind of like a stereotypical.
I have no problem with stereotypes.
Yeah, but you're not Jewish. Can we clarify this or no? Is that offensive?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
You don't consider yourself Jewish.
No, I don't belong.
Okay, this is extremely important that he didn't consider himself Jewish because like we've pointed out before and like I'll point out again, she did a lot of the things that she did to the Jewish community by claiming that it was okay because her boyfriend was Jewish, but then he never identified as Jewish. So she was doing all these things using him as a shield when he didn't even identify as what she was mocking. And then later she used her children as a shield by being like, "Oh, my children are Jewish." She just she uses them to continue to do disgusting things and be anti-medic. Um, and it's gross.
Thing.
Except water.
Yeah.
Well, you don't even belong to that
It'll be
because you
like
are that.
anything smaller than the whole body.
Okay, so for people who think I'm obsessed with people because they're Jewish, she's not Jewish. She's the opposite of that.
She literally said that herself. She's like, for people who think what I told them is true, she herself has said she only dates Jewish men, that she's obsessed with Jewish people. I'm going to insert clips for everything I reference here.
Maybe did your mom know how to cook Jewish food? Yeah. We should do a Jewish eating show over there.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Because I only date Jewish guys. I only date Jewish guys.
Because it needs to be seen.
So don't come for me. Okay, so back to
She's like, don't come for me, but she literally said that herself.
the dating thing. So, okay, back to... But I'm not able to say that. I love everybody.
Good. That's the way.
But you don't think I do?
She does not love everybody. I don't even know why she would lie like that. Did she love 16-year-old Charlie D'Amelio when she came after her and attacked her? Did she love Gabby Hanna? Did she love Jason Nash? Well, I think she did love Jason Nash, but then he left her for his own safety and then she hated him because of that. But my point is that she's hateful and she's admitted this several times that she's very hateful.
No, you think I hate?
No, I mean, I said it in a reaction because I asked you, do you love everyone or hate? So
I hate some people.
right, but that's...
But I love more people than I hate.
She's like, I don't hate, but I hate some people. And she doesn't love more people than she hates. She definitely hates more people than she loves. That's why when she listed off who she loved, it was only her mom, her sister, and Moses.
Wait, why do you hang around me if you think I hate you? You're trying to fix me, I feel.
No.
Admit it, you wanted to help me. You were like, I wanted to help you, and then I realized I can't.
I think she gets off on the fact that he would want to help her and save her, but the messed up thing is that he didn't want to save her or help her. He just wanted to help himself to what she had. But I think she thought oh my god, he cares about me. He wants to help me. But that was never the case. He was never interested in that. That's why that one video we reviewed where he basically said she wasn't his responsibility. He doesn't want to take care of her. The only reason he does nowadays is for the money and the attention and the clout.
No. I made a mistake that, I mean, I don't help somebody unless they ask for it. Unless they ask.
Okay.
Help. You should never help somebody that didn't ask for help. I made that mistake.
So you were trying to help me then.
No, I just thought that maybe, I just thought that maybe you were interested at that moment. But it was the wrong moment because at that moment you never said, hey, I want to hear about this.
Okay.
So he's saying he never sought to help her, but he thought she was interested in him. Or is he saying that he thought she was interested in help? I think he's saying he thought she was interested in him, so he gave it a shot, but then he's like, oh, she's not ready for this.
So tell me how you would help me if I asked for help. What do you think I need help with? And I'm genuinely asking this because we don't usually talk about this because we're friends and it's a weird thing because I don't want your help. I just want to be your friend. But you always are like, I wanted to help you. And
She doesn't just want to be his ucking friend. She wants to be his ucking girlfriend.
you don't want help. And so I need to not help you. But what would you have wanted to help me in?
I think for most people, it starts with the environment we're born into. So it's usually parents. Or whoever raised you. So if you're born in an environment that hurt you in any way, so it can be, mentally, verbally, physically, and the worst that parents can do is be angry with their children, judgmental of their children, because the body can heal, but it's really our spirit and mind that gets scarred, from those things.
I find it kind of weird that he barely knew her at this point, and he was already going into how she was raised and who her parents were and how they pretty much messed her up. But he's probably talking about himself here because I know he has issues with his own parents. I don't know what's going on because he's praised them, but has also apparently said that he was traumatized. So I feel like he's kind of projecting and putting that onto her. Granted, she did have weird parents. Her mother to this day is very weird. But I think it's kind of presumptuous to just be like, Yeah, it's how you grew up. It's how your parents treated you. Like, she has never said anything bad about her mother and father. In fact, she's praised them, said they were the best parents, did the most for her. They definitely spoiled her. She did say her father had an anger problem when she was a child, and that he left the family and got remarried. But apparently, the story behind that is actually that her mom cheated on him. So her mom cheated on her dad, and the dad left, and somehow Trisha ended up blaming the father for leaving after being cheated on.
So for most people, it's really to overcome their parents and the spirit that the parents put into them. So like if let's say if my parents are very judgmental and
Wait, so he's basically kind of dragging her parents because he's like, well, it's how you're raised and the spirit that your parents put in you. So if you're hateful, your parents were hateful, and your parents made you hateful. I don't, I don't know if her parents were hateful, but that because her mom is an enabler for sure, and her mom has issues. But her mom, I remember when she was dating Jason Nash, her mom would actually call Trisha out, and so would her sister Kelly. They would both call Trisha out when she was being unreasonable, and they would tell her to stop being mean to Jason or his friends, and they would clock her when she was wrong.
they make me feel bad, I get anxious, then I get judgmental of them and their behavior. I turn into a judgmental person, right?
Right.
And suddenly, like I said, you become what you resent. So we become our parents in that way. So
But I don't think Trisha resents her parents. Trisha views her mother as like an icon. Trisha's like obsessed with her mother. I think the only thing she resents about her father is that he wasn't around as much, which is why she claims she has daddy issues. Trisha has pretty much said that she never liked her dad's wife, her stepmother, which is odd because she used to be in Trisha's early videos and they used to get along. So I don't know, it's just kind of weird. But she's literally always praised both her parents. And the only thing she resented from her father, it seemed, was that he wasn't around as much because he lived in a different state and he had a new wife. But remember, he got cheated on. And the ironic thing about that is that she resented her father for not being around as much as he could have been or should have been. And yet, when she was with Jason Nash, she constantly took Jason Nash away from his kids and would get mad at him when he wanted to spend time with them and would get mad at Jason when he missed his children. So it's just ironic.
the key is really to understand our parents. They can't control themselves, understand where they came from, why they're acting the way they do. And nobody really gave them good guidance. So, they're actually like kids.
Right.
They're walking around hurting their own kids. They don't
I'm so anxious to see if Trisha stands up for her parents here. She seems to be kind of in agreement with them because she keeps saying right and like she seems agreeable. But I want to know if she says anything about like, oh, my parents were good parents because she always says that.
want to. They feel awful about it, but at the same time, they don't know how to fix it. They don't know how to admit fault. They don't want to admit the fault because it's horrible for a parent to admit that they hurt their child.
Right.
So we as children, because we're born perfect, we have the chance to fix it and forgive them. So if we forgive our parents, then
I don't think Moses believes that though because remember, he was resentful of his parents and he said that they gave him trauma. And he was like, he praised his mom, but then apparently he had issues with her and let Trisha like bully her and treat her bad, like publicly. So I don't think Moses ever forgave whatever he was resentful about.
can release them from that guilt, release ourselves from their spirit of judgment in us. So really it's about understanding our parents, forgiving them.
Like what he's preaching is nice. Like you would, if it was real, it would be nice, but it's not real. He doesn't even live by these own words and he doesn't even believe them.
And when you forgive them, then you actually love them. Then you can actually love them. Even though they're still going to be horrible, they're still going to be judgmental, they're still going to try and push your buttons, they can't control themselves. But you will see them as a child. You will see them as like, suddenly the role reverses and you're the adult in the house and they're the children. But when they see you change, then they'll be like, how'd you do that? And then you can help them. And they
Okay, but Trisha would never be a shining example of that because to this day she's like 37 and her mother still babies her and enables her and lets her do whatever she wants and spoils her. Like Trisha would never take on the parental role ever. She doesn't even take on the parental role to her own children. And that's just the sad truth.
Yeah, I get it. But I mean, you said you've always been an adult. You're like, I've been an adult since I was 5 years old. That's what you say. Do you still?
I was born an adult.
I feel like you actually would be. I wouldn't believe you most of the time, but I feel like that you might actually be real because you just are so serious. And when you are trying to,
I mean, he is like a 40-plus-year-old man. So yeah, he would be serious, right?
when you are funny, I shouldn't say trying to be funny. When you are funny, I don't even know like you're trying to be funny or if it is funny. I'm always like,
Yeah, most people miss my joke.
I think that's just an indication that she doesn't think he's funny. Because she doesn't know when he's trying to be funny. She's just like, what are you doing there, Moses?
Jokes because they're like, no
they're
way.
I don't know if there's a joke there sometimes. Because sometimes you just say stuff. I'm like, is he being serious or is he not?
Right. No, but when I'm comfortable, I just make jokes all the time.
But even when he does make an outright joke, she's always confused. She's like, what are you saying, Moses? She's like never genuinely laughed at his joke. She just laughed at him.
Are you comfortable with me?
I joke all the time.
Do you? I don't even know. Sometimes I don't even know your joke. Sometimes I get so annoyed and I just hang up the phone. I'm just like, okay, bye.
Damn, what happened to like, I want to be with him 24/7. I want to talk to him 24/7. I'm obsessed with him. Now she's like, sometimes you just like are so dumb that I just hang up on you. Like sometimes you're just so unfunny that I can't even continue to talk to you. Also like how she snuck in the question of like, do you feel comfortable with me? Because she wants to know if she's like met the threshold. If she's like wormed her way into his heart. So I wasn't going to include this because it's just a sponsorship in the podcast, but there was something interesting that she said. Listen to this. It's a break in the podcast. It's just a sponsorship.
Loves little prompts like this. It jogs their memory. It goes back towards memory lane. She had a great story about the day I was actually born, which I'd never heard before. And because the story was prompts, it was able to jog her memory that she had complications and she was feeling all sorts of things that, you know, most people don't normally remember or care to share. But it was really interesting. And
So at first I thought she was just BSing because she's obviously promoting this product. And I think she was just like, oh, my mom shared stories because like it's like a story brand. And she's like, my mom shared stories about how I was born. And it seems pretty generic. But then listen to what she says next. I believe this is real because she's spoken about this before.
Brought us closer together. Reading the weekly stories is fun and makes our family feel close, even if we're not all together. Storyworth has been giving us many revelations about our mother. Like I said, when you're a kid, you're kind of don't really know what's happening. I don't even know if she really knows what's happening. She's so busy working multiple jobs. And she shared stories about her jobs while she was working, why she did it. I thought we were completely rich growing up until she shared a story about how she had to work 4 jobs, which I didn't really comprehend at the time. I thought that was just normal.
Okay, this is like fake but real at the same time because she always knew her mother worked a bunch of jobs. So I don't think she discovered it during this brand when her mother used story, whatever, because you know her mother didn't actually use it. It's just a sponsorship. But the part about her saying, I thought we were rich when I was a kid, she did say that a long time ago, that she thought that they were never poor because her mother got her everything. Her mother and father spoiled her. She was never hurting. She got whatever she wanted. Her mom put like all her money into her. Like, I remember when she said she was 18 and she moved to LA, her mom gave her like all her money to do it.
And it just makes me appreciate her so much more. And I know she loves sharing the memories with us as well.
Which is why I think, like, obviously, just because a parent gets you something, it doesn't mean that they didn't traumatize you or that they didn't neglect you in some way. Like, I do think her mother, there's a story about how her mother said that her boyfriend, like, ended up in Trisha's bed. Like, she kind of tried to play it off like a funny story, I think. But it was concerning. And obviously not Trisha's fault if a grown man was in her bed. That's why the only thing I believe of Trisha talking about potential harm, I believe that story. Like, but she's never told that story. But I believe that that's what happened. I don't believe all the other things about teachers and everything else. I think she's blamed them for what her mother's boyfriend probably did because she doesn't want to ever make her mother seem like the bad guy. Ever. So she never says anything that could relate to that. But yeah, what I was going to say is I'm surprised that she didn't stick up more for her mother during Moses's rant about parents, considering she said all this about how like her mother did everything for her. Which again, I feel like your parent can do everything for you and still neglect you in some way. I'm just saying she normally like races to defend her.
Okay, so we're back. Last time we did a video together, everyone told me my hair looked awful. But you know what? It still looks awful because I'm in the freaking quarantine, which is the other reason I really know Moses is a good person because he has seen me at my ugliest. Oh my God, I was really broken out that first week. I finally got a routine and
Oh my God, so cringe because she ends up finding texts from him calling her ugly and all this stuff. So her being like, oh, this is how I know Moses is a good person. He didn't judge me when I looked my worst. And meanwhile, he was like texting behind her back.
I was able to put like makeup on my face, but it was so bad. And he didn't care. Anyways. Okay. So we met right before lockdown. And then we basically just isolated together because why? Because we didn't have anyone else? Is that why?
I think we were getting to know each other.
No, it's because Moses saw an opportunity to pursue her and have her all to himself in his con, and he took that opportunity.
I mean, we didn't know each other. Like that's what was so. It was really like a reality show.
Yeah, I just feel like I don't know. I'm glad I wasn't alone. If I was alone right now, I would have gone nuts. I don't know how people do. I feel like no one's really alone in this isolation. I feel like people are at least trying to keep it small circle.
No, but a lot of people are like completely alone, or I mean, it's mostly online.
You think?
Yeah.
I feel like some people like sneak to other people's houses, like for sure.
No, I mean, people.
I feel like she's saying that. I mean, it's true, but I feel like she's saying that because she would definitely do that. Because she didn't care about quarantine when it happened. She kept going out. She kept traveling. She kept doing whatever she wanted. I remember she even threw, 2 weddings during the issue? And she did music videos, and she threw parties, and she went out. So it never stopped her from living.
Afraid. I mean, there were a lot of people that were really afraid. A lot of people are alone, and I've spoke to people like really had a hard time with it. But I think for us, people that are so busy, to go from full on to nothing at all, and then you're suddenly home alone, and because for me too, most of my life is actually work.
Yeah.
Like people I work with, work for, and that's really what I do mostly, not so much socialize. So suddenly that's gone.
Right.
So there was like nothing.
Wait, you don't socialize in like everyday life, in real life?
Hardly.
So you don't go.
That's because he's like messaging H3 fans and just DMing them. That was his socialization. I feel like he lied to her about not going out. He probably went out a lot more than he said he did. Also, him being like, well, I'm a kind of person who all I did was work. And so when quarantine happened and I couldn't work, but it's like he did work though. He worked his con on her successfully at that.
You said you went on. Okay. So he didn't date for 10 years because you were trying to help other people. Yes? That was your reasoning?
No, I was just doing my research.
He didn't not date for 10 years. He was dating someone a month before he was with Trisha. And he had 2 wives under his belt before Trisha. So the whole I wasn't dating for 10 years is a lie. In fact, I think he was involved with multiple women before Trisha and during Trisha.
Just doing like when you work on philosophy, critical thinking, you have to be away from the drama of life because it just gets into your mind and
You think dating's drama?
No.
Okay, well, dating her would be drama, so that's kind of a trick question. But also him being like, oh, I wasn't doing anything. I was just researching. Meanwhile, he was sleeping with H3 fans and doing messed up things to them.
I don't think it's drama. I don't think it is. I think I'm drama. I don't think dating is drama. Maybe dating me is drama, but that's different. That's why he stopped talking to me. We had a little, I don't know if it's even a breakup because we weren't dating, but we had a time where he just didn't want to talk to me for like 3 days.
Was it because you hit him? That's all I want to know.
I needed space.
Oh my God. Which I don't know how to give people space. You're right about that. You're right. That was true. That's a crazy story. And
she said she doesn't know how to give people space, but in her exposed video, she said that she was the type of person who gave everyone space because she didn't want to be around people, and that Moses was the only person that she ever wanted to be around constantly. But now she's like, oh yeah, I have a hard time giving people space. Not just Moses, people.
I continue, sorry, about the dating and not wanting drama.
In a way, I was really just stepping away from.
She keeps bringing the topic back to dating because she really wants to date him. And she wants to pursue this topic because she wants to get him talking about it so she can wriggle her way in.
Humanity and human structure, like the structure of humanity, the regular of like talking to people, going out, doing things. I was just all day working with the water, doing experiments, writing, and I wrote a lot. And
messaging H3 fans in DMs, writing to them a lot.
Also made some videos, and that's when Channel Water started. So the idea was just to keep doing research and communicate out to the world.
Right.
I didn't really care about my being as a human being. like the desires of the body, the mind.
Then why was he sleeping with H3 fans? And why was he talking crap about his brother-in-law Ethan Klein to them if he didn't care about his own desires and his own humanity? Sleeping with someone sounds like you're fulfilling a desire to me.
So I kind of just...
But you still had you weren't celibate for 10 years. Let's just clarify that.
Completely celibate.
Yeah. Okay. Because I was like, what? So you just didn't take girls out.
But the desire wasn't there. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like sitting and thinking, oh, I need something.
I like how she called him out though, and he actually admitted, because he probably knew he couldn't lie about it. Good call out.
I want something. Like slowly your body changes, your mind changes. And it's like going through detox. Really, society is an addiction. And when you step away from society, first it's like rehab. Like it's hard and it's painful and you feel it. You're like, oh, I want physical touch. I want this food. I want that party. I want the music, whatever it is. But then slowly you forget that ever existed.
Yeah.
So I think it really depends on how you do it and for how long.
I don't believe him for a second. He was messaging H3 fans the whole time and hooking up with them. He's being so fake right now. And I don't even know why I said right now, because I mean all the time.
But there was a moment where the research was finished, and I never thought it would be. Like I was done. I found out answers to all the questions.
You thought it was going to be your whole life journey for this?
I just didn't think I would be back to people. I thought I'm going to stay in that space of like talking about consciousness, space, time, like something so out there.
Your whole life, you thought you were going to do that?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But then at the end, there was like this moment where part of the knowledge and part of the stuff I was finding out was really about people.
He wanted to be a philosopher, but then realized he couldn't cut it. And in his quest to be important, he realized he needed people around him to feel important. Because you can't be narcissistic only if you love yourself and you don't have a crowd and attention around you. You need other people around to love yourself even harder and compare yourself to them and use them to gas you up. He needed others to stroke his ego because his own hand wasn't doing enough.
Things that could be very helpful to people. And for me, that's all I want to do. Like, I'd rather be there for other people, rather spend my life helping people than necessarily, let's say.
Who has he helped, though? I feel like everyone he's ever been around, he's just taken from. And I feel like you have to love yourself a lot to think that your mere presence is helping people around you. He's like, I just want to help people. But what has he done to help anyone? Even being with Trisha is just him using her and helping himself to her money.
Start a family or have my own little bubble. You know
Maybe you're scared to start a family because of the whole parent thing. You think parents do a bad job and you're worried because you're going to
do a great job.
No, you can't say that. You say everybody screws their kids up. You will too. And your kids will have to correct themselves because of you.
Sure. But I'll be aware of that. Like I'll be able to apologize to them for the things.
This kind of is gross to me because I'm not going to lie. From what I've seen, Moses does appear to be a good parent. But I agree with Trisha that he's going to screw his kids up because he knowingly and willingly got with a sister and someone who, when after she had the first kid, she didn't even want the kid. And then she continued to have two more. And after each one, she didn't want them. I think she realized at the time that motherhood wasn't what she thought it was going to be. Trisha's a pretty selfish person. I think having kids was just... I think she did it because of society standards. I think she wouldn't have done it if it was just for her. Because she said she regretted every single kid. And she didn't even spend time with any of them. And even to this day, she rarely spends time with them. And for Moses to be like, oh, well, yeah, I'll screw them up, but I'll be aware and I'll be able to apologize. I think it's so selfish for him to want money so bad that he would bring 3 little human lives into the world to get it. 3 little human lives that he's going to hurt because he used their mother. He used their mother for her money and he used their mother for them. And I think that's just gross. You can't just do something and be like, well, I'll do something, but I'll be aware enough to apologize. So you're willingly hurting them just so you can get what you want, just because you know you can later apologize. You know what they say, it's easier to say sorry than to ask permission for something.
I'll be able to give them... I mean, all you need to do is give your kids their freedom to be who they are and not force our expectations and our judgments on them. So whatever that person will grow up to.
Okay, but does he believe that? Like he's like, oh, you shouldn't judge. You shouldn't put your expectations to your children. Their children's names are literally Malibu Barbie, Elvis, and Aquaman. Those are expectation-filled names. Malibu Barbie, Aquaman. They're named after things that she wants them to be.
I'll support it. But most people, and I see it with my own friends, they're so scared that their kid is going to turn out to be something they judge, something they don't like.
Right.
So that's how it starts. Like, let's say there's people you don't like, you judge, oh, I don't like this type of people, that type of being. And then suddenly your kid becomes exactly that.
Right.
I'll give you like a very simple example. Let's say you're a Democrat and your child grows to be a Republican.
Right.
And then suddenly you're like, oh my God.
This is probably the one thing, I might be naive here, but this is probably the one thing I believe Moses on. I do believe he loves his children, and I don't think, I mean, obviously it's too early to tell, but I don't think he would abandon them or like judge them. He seems to really care for them, and he's doing the brunt of the work and the load of the work, and he's taking care of them, and he's obviously like a gentle and loving parent. And the reason I know that is because the kids seem very attached to him, especially the oldest daughter. She seems very attached to Moses, and she wouldn't be if he was not a good parent.
What have I done? But that's exactly what's going to happen.
What if they grow up to be just like you?
I don't know.
Would you be happy or sad?
I don't think that's possible.
Moses is going to be like, no one could ever grow up to be like me. I'm one of a kind. Watch.
Like,
To be just like you?
no, I think every person is so unique. The more freedom you give them, the more unique they will be in their being.
Or they could just...
I just think, I'm sorry, but I just think he was kind of narcissistic here. I think he was like, that's not possible. No one could ever be me. Because remember, he didn't even want his own child named Moses because he said, I want to be the only Moses. I don't want to share my name with someone else. And that was his own child. He ended up doing it anyway in the end. But yeah, he was pretty against it for a long time.
I'm dead because if you give them so much freedom, they'll like over...
No, I think
Is she okay? Who even thinks that kind of thing? Also, is she referencing herself because she claims that she did that and called her father for help after she did that? And her parents have always just let her do whatever she wants and given her complete and total freedom. So I don't know why she's like, well, why would you give your kids freedom? They could just do whatever. Is she talking about herself? Because that's literally how she was raised. She's always been able to do whatever she wants, and she's pretty much like run the family.
kids run away from themselves and their own consciousness if they're hurt. Like that's a result of being hurt. You can do in a very educational and responsible way, but if you
That's
do
a
it,
PSA.
but if you do it to escape yourself, then it's a different issue.
Tell us how we do it responsibly. I would like to know this.
Pretty sure you always do it to escape. He's being so stupid.
Give me an example.
I mean, some people do like certain, or let's say some cultures have certain ceremonies. You
Right.
come to age 13, 16, 18, whatever it is, and there's a ceremony. And in that ceremony, you get, you kind of learn about the bigger picture, the bigger consciousness. You learn something.
Right.
But if as a kid you do it because you want to escape your life, because it just feels good, because feeling good is not being good. There's a difference.
Right.
But sometimes we escape to the place that feels good because we feel so horrible. And we feel so horrible because somebody's making us feel horrible.
Do you feel...
I'm so confused. He's saying like a 13, 16, 18 in some ceremonies you do things. Is he talking about like rugs? Because he's just talking about like the main ages when you like it almost feels like he's just talking about like bat mitzvahs, bar mitzvahs, sweet 16s, and then just your 18th birthday. It doesn't sound like he's talking about any specific thing that involves rugs, so I don't know why he's conflating the two.
Do you feel horrible most of the time?
I feel amazing.
All the time?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sober 100%. And
That's true.
I used to smoke to deal with my pain.
What was your pain? Let's get into that. I didn't know you had pain. I thought you were like perfect. You never told me about pain. Oh, your
No.
childhood pain.
Yeah, I mean, like everyone else. I'm not
I really want to know what happened to Moses in his childhood because he seems to reference it a lot and he seems to be really resentful about it and the fact that he allegedly had to grow up fast.
different than anyone else. I just found a way to resolve
I
it
don't
and move
know.
out of it.
Your childhood kind of seems sadder than most people's that I've heard of. It's sadder than mine.
Okay, I wonder what he told her to make her say that. His childhood seems sadder than most people's and sadder than hers. Which is a weird comment for her to make, by the way, if she claims that she was harmed by multiple teachers in every school she ever went to. How could what he went through be worse than that?
Maybe.
It definitely is. I was like, oh damn. I think and then also just like
So his was so bad that it was an oh damn, so it was worse than multiple teachers harming her and allegedly being on the street working at 16 even though she never was. This is like further proof that she lied about all those things, because nobody who actually went through those things would be like, oh wow, your childhood was way worse than mine, unless Moses was like stabbed repeatedly every day of his childhood. Like, I don't understand.
the way you grew up. I was watching your video. I don't watch all your videos. I tell you this. I'm not a fake person. I'm like, people think like I'm like faking whatever because like we're so opposite. But I tell them when I'm not interested in something because I'm like, water is boring, and you know this because you don't talk about water that often. But you also don't like musicals. He hates Broadway.
Wait, but she's kind of lying there because she told him before, she's like, I love water. I watched all your videos. I love watching your stuff. You actually have cool content. And now she's like, I don't lie to you. I tell you when it's boring. It's boring. Your channel's boring. You're boring.
And like musicals, and so that's why I don't talk about that. So it's like we just understand it. Anyways, I did watch a video on your channel because it was about you. So I was like, okay, let me watch this one, and it was shorter. It was like 30 minutes. And you said, okay, so you grew up in Israel, which I want to go to Israel. You're like, I don't like Israel. I never want to go back.
I don't want to live there. It's great to visit.
Oh, it is great to visit. So you would go visit again.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you don't like, because in your video you said, oh, I came to LA and I felt like I was like home. Like you didn't feel like, you don't feel like
I don't
Israel.
feel comfortable there.
You don't, that's what I'm saying. Okay,
there.
why? That's what I'm like, I don't understand that either. Because we watch 90 Day Fiance and all these people like love their freaking countries, and you're just like, oh, I don't feel comfortable. That's not my home.
Well,
And yet she presents it like he loves it, and she forces him to be on like an Israeli reality show later in life. She wants him to be like the 90 Day Fiance contestants because she wants him to be like, she has this weird thing where she likes the idea that she is with someone who wasn't born in America. That's why she called before she's like, oh, he's Middle Eastern, so he's like a toy. She wants him to be like all about the culture so that she has an excuse to be all about the culture too.
Israel is like a weird social experiment. So it's an island, but it's not an island because it's the beautiful Hawaii or Maui. It's an island because we're surrounded by enemies. So you're landlocked. You can't travel on land anywhere. You have to fly out if you want to go somewhere. So it's a tiny country, and you're surrounded by enemies, and that really does something to your mentality. So if you want to know what an Israeli is, there's two definitions on Wikipedia. You can even look for it. So
okay, so this is actually interesting. It seems like his childhood is not so much all about his parents, but also about his upbringing. So he's getting pretty deep here, and this kind of makes more sense now about why he feels like he had to grow up fast, and why he holds some of the opinions that he holds.
Island mentality and siege mentality. It's like living under siege. So it really changes the way you think about the world. And for me, it didn't fit, and I felt claustrophobic. Like I used to drive for hours, like drive, listen to music, and just drive until I couldn't drive anymore, which happened really fast because it's such a small country.
Wait, what would happen? Wait, what do you mean? Like if you get to Egypt, right, the border of Egypt, you said, what happens? They just tell you to turn around or what?
No, I mean, it's worse than that, because if you drive to the wrong village or you go the wrong way, you can die. Like, you'll just get killed. There's so many people that
they just if you go.
Wow, that sounds pretty intense. So it sounds like Moses felt safer in America, and he didn't feel comfortable there for safety concerns, which I hope she's understanding now that she knows this and doesn't keep pushing like, well, why didn't you like it? I wish you loved it more. Like, I hope she's actually understanding with what he's saying, because it seems like a pretty serious topic.
Wrong way. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Now? Present day Israel?
Yeah.
Why would I just, this is why I don't understand. Why would anybody want to, like, you have family over there? Like, why would they want to live there if that's what happens?
But that's the problem in the world. Most people are not able to live where they are. They're forced. I mean, there's people that are starving to Africa. So we can't, like, why don't you move?
Yeah, I feel like that's an entitled viewpoint from her, and I feel like I'm glad that Moses called it out, because Moses is like, not everyone can just afford to up and leave. Because not everyone can do that. A lot of people are stuck in countries that they don't want to be in because they know nothing else and they can't do anything else.
Where there's food, like you can.
That's different though, because like people have good jobs and there, you know what I mean? Like,
But most people are attached to their family. You have
Okay, not her acting like she knows the ins and outs of Israel.
roots. You have family. You have kids. You have a job, and it's
Like, she literally has a man who was born and raised in Israel telling her what it's like, and she's still like, well, that doesn't make sense because blah, blah, blah. Like, I think his account is probably more reliable and valid than hers here. I don't know why she's arguing with him on a point that he would know more about.
not like you can just move here. You know what I mean?
well,
Like,
you did.
Well, I came to school. I studied here. I went to college, and then after college, I got a job. Like I did it
Yeah.
a certain way, the legal way.
Right. But can't everyone do that? Like, can't everyone just come to school and like,
No,
they can't? Why not?
it's really hard. I mean,
She seems so, like, out of touch. Like, how are you this out of touch with the world that you think that everyone is just privileged in the same way? And not everyone can just do what he did, or not everyone can just up and move. They don't have the luxury of freedom to do that, or the luxury of, like, being rich, or, like, the luxury of having a place to go. Not everyone could just do that.
for the time I was in college, I worked full time. I was just for 4 years. I had not even one weekend off, not even one night off.
You
I
just
was like either
worked.
work or school for 4 years.
Yeah.
I didn't sleep 4 hours a night. That was it.
It's like you
for
now.
4 years.
That's really intense.
You still only sleep 4 hours a night.
Right. So in a way that, it was really hard work, and I did well in school, so I got some scholarships too. So, but it's not easy. Not everyone can do that.
Is that why people, I'm not even being funny, but is that why people on 90 Day Fiance like kind of don't really care if they're like in love with the person? They're just like, oh, I just want to come to America.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
changed your
Osman and
life.
Soldier Boy.
I mean, I think that much is obvious that a lot of people in 90 Day Fiance just like want green cards. Like, I know some of the stories that she's referencing, like, God, I forgot the name of the guy, but the blonde, heavy girl named Nicole, who was with the guy. Maybe it is like that guy clearly had no interest in Nicole.
Absolutely.
Baby girl Lisa.
It is the best place in the world to be.
And is it harder? Maybe you don't know this. I'm just asking because you're foreign. This is so stereotypical. But like, is it harder for people like in the Philippines and Nigeria to come here than people in like Israel and England? Because you never see people from like Israel. Well, there was that one guy, but he was like weird. But like, I'm saying you never see people from like England trying to come over here, or France, or Australia. They can just come over here, right? But Philippines and Nigerians and like those people can't.
Right. I mean, the more, let's say, the more there's a desire to move here, the harder it is, right? So, because you just can't have hundreds and thousands of people move here. And even people, if it's from England or Israel, they can get a tourist visa and come here for 3 months. Maybe they fall in love. Maybe they get married,
Right. But Nigerians can't.
So some other countries, it's more strict because there's so much desire. So again, it's like,
I don't blame her for asking the question because I know she's curious and wants to learn about it, but I did find it kind of weird that she's like, I'm only asking you if you're a foreigner. And she's like, and I know it's so stereotypical. That was a little bit of a sus comment to me, but I get that she just asked it, and I get what she was going for. She was trying to become more informed, but she did it in a really ignorant way.
demand and
Oh, so they're kind of like, yeah, I get
it's
it.
the same thing in Israel. Like in Israel too, there's a lot of people from the Philippines that want to come to Israel to work, or from Eritrea. And
Are they close together?
no, but they can get jobs there. They can make money, send money back home. So it's the same thing. Every country has people that want from another country to move to, and
I'm just trying to figure out which country is the most desperate where I can find my husband. And apparently Nigerians can't.
That doesn't make any sense though, because when she's like, I want to know who's the most desperate and who's who like doesn't have the money to come here and who doesn't have the means to get here, so they could be relying on me and I could be their wife. But then like when age 3 set her up with like broke dudes, she was like, nah, I don't like having to take care of anyone. I don't like being the sole breadwinner. I don't like these broke men.
Over here, because that's how
And now she wants someone whose like whole life would be dependent on her.
I'm talking to Soldier Boy, and he can't even come over here, and he's married. So apparently they're not even allowed over here right now at the moment. Like at all. I don't know. But if you're from Nigeria and want to date me and you're not a scammer, let me know.
Okay, I've never ever seen her have any interest in any black men, so I find it hard to believe that she would be interested in a black man. especially since she referred to black men as scary and has said several acist things. But I guess that's her way of trying to seem like she's not acist anymore.
I go get treats and snacks. Sister went in to get the snackies because I'm terrified of getting out of my car. Like, I drive a BMW, not that it's like super high class, but I swear to you right now, it's like, and I don't mean this to be like racist, but okay, well, it's gonna come out anyways, but there's just these 6 really scary looking guys, and I think they'd be scary whether they were white or black, but these black men look like they're gonna kill me. So Trish. Oh gosh, there's so much to talk about. There's ASMR. We got so much. What else? What do you want people to know? Wait, I shouldn't ask that question. If I tell you what do you want people to know, you're gonna go off on some tangent that I don't know. Okay, we're friends again. Do you want to talk about?
She's like, wait, I don't want you to tell people what you're interested in because then I have to listen to you talk about something boring that I'm not interested in. That's basically what she just said. So now she's like, let's talk about us instead. Let's talk about how we're talking again.
I guess a lot of people, I saw a lot of criticism towards you about like why you still talk to me. They're like, you bash his family. Like, how dare you talk to Trisha? Which I didn't really bash anyone.
She did bash them. That is true. But he doesn't care because he bashes his own family. So why would he care about that? But I could understand why people would be like, that's kind of weird that you're associating with someone who attacked your own family. But Moses has never cared about that kind of thing because he attacks his own family. I do need to know, though, if this was the time that she hit him, which is why he stopped talking to her and why he started to talk to her again. But it is sus that he started to talk to her, especially after she made the exposed video against his family, which kind of makes me wonder if she started talking to him again, or like if he started talking to her again, because when she made the exposed video, he exposed his 2 enemies, Ethan and Hila, and he's like, you know what, she'd be good to have on my side, and then he jumped back in the ring. That's just my thoughts, my theories, my speculation. But I'm gonna stop here. There is like 30 more minutes to go, so if you guys want the part 2, let me know. I know it's a pretty like dullish podcast, but there is a lot of insight here, and we have been able to see a lot of things. And Moses is speaking a lot more, and it's funny because Moses doesn't really speak that much, but in this podcast where he's been interviewed, she's actually allowing him to do a lot of talking. Like she is talking here and there, and she is like a big majority of it, but Moses is doing a lot of speaking. So we're learning a lot about him here, and we're learning a lot from him here. So if you want to keep going, because it sounds like it's going to get juicier, because now they're finally talking about Ethan and Hila, let me know, and I'll do the second part of this one, and we'll find out exactly what he had to say about his own family and why he was okay with someone dragging them in the mud.